the federal government decided not to, Department of Justice decided not to pursue a criminal investigation. So it's pretty much dropped. And the Hamilton family is, of course, distraught about that, as they should be. So they are not stopping. Nate Hamilton, one of the brothers of Don Trace, spoke at this Martin Luther King commemoration also in January, and he's very, very articulate and just so calm and mild-mannered. And he said, we are all leaders in this room, and we all think so much alike, and we have to come together, and we have to show our leadership and just keep going forward and do whatever we can to make the changes that we know are needed. And so he's an excellent speaker, Nate Hamilton. In fact, you know what, I should call him and ask him to be on your show. He's a wonderful young man, and he has another brother. There are two brothers and the mother, Maria, that are very active, and like I said, with forming organizations and marching to D.C. That was huge last year. That was just huge. So all that's ongoing is just trying to keep fighting for justice. We have, at this Martin Luther King event also, there was another man who stood up, and I'm not recalling his name. I think it's Stringley. It was a father of a young man. I remember this from about 4 years ago, I think. His son, 16 years old, was in a store and was attempting to steal something. So he was making a mistake. There 4 men in this little store pinned him down, put their knees on him, held him down forcibly until the police officer was arrived. They called the police. Somebody called 911. But they killed this man. This young man died. And apparent witnesses say he was telling them, "You're choking me. I can't breathe. I can't," he was being choked because they had him face down. And you can imagine, this is a 16-year-old kid, and 4 guys were on him, and he died there in the store. And that father has not had justice either. There's been no criminal charges, no investigation to speak of. So we have those 2 cases just right here in Milwaukee. And Milwaukee, Wisconsin, by the way, I believe it's the 3rd highest in poverty rate, and it's the top segregated city in the United States. So Milwaukee has a lot of challenges, and we are constantly working on getting some justices here in Milwaukee too, and in Wisconsin.
You mentioned I can't breathe. With this case up there in Wisconsin, it brings up Eric Garner from Staten Island. I'm from Staten Island. Now, by the way, Eric Garner's daughter, she's also supporting Bernie Sanders. She did a commercial for him. Mm-hmm. Now, when you watch the video with Eric Garner, the first thing he says when these cops show up is, "Oh, no, not you guys again. This ends today. All this stops today." Now, what is behind that is this. Eric Garner had been being harassed by these cops for years. He was walking down the street on Staten Island, and he's saying this. I forget what the unit's called, the crash unit, whatever it's called. Pulled up on him in the middle of the street, and they made him pull down his pants in the middle of the street, and they examined him anally.
Oh my gosh!
In front of
everyone.
On
the street?
Yes. Now we know about this, and he was arrested too. They had no charges. They didn't find any drugs on him or nothing, but they arrested him. He sent him to Rikers Island, and he got out with no charges. The charges were ultimately dismissed. But while he was on, the reason why we know about this, and people don't know about it, okay, but you can look it up online, is because while he was on Rikers Island, Eric Garner wrote a handwritten civil rights complaint against these police officers, where he describes in detail how he was stopped, his pants pulled down in the middle, and he was told him, "I'll go with you to the precinct. You can search me. I'll go with you to the precinct." But no, they pulled his pants down in the middle of the street, and they anally, digitally examined this guy, and he was so humiliated. So that's why, guys, you saw this guy so agitated when they were attacking him, saying, come on, man. If you're a rape victim, if you're a victim of abuse, post-traumatic stress disorder, that you're sitting on Rikers Island, you're handwriting a civil rights complaint.
Yeah. You'd react one way or the other. You'd react the way Eric Garner did,
right,
with such, being so upset, or you'd just shut down and be so terrified. I think you'd go to one extreme or the other. And that's just human nature.
And either way, it's involuntary, you know.
And either way, it's involuntary because that's your reaction, to such stress and turmoil that you went through. Yeah, that's like PTSD.
Yep.
It's like having PTSD.
And that's the untold part of the Eric Garner story of what went on there. And also, too, that one of the guys who took the films of him is repeatedly getting arrested for all kinds of trumped-up charges, too. And he won't even talk to me anymore because he's under so much harassment. So anyway,
probably every story has details that are being swept under the rug, and they don't want to get out to the public.
Yeah, it's so true. Okay, Polly Cook Hughes again. How can we reach you and Reverend Pinckney? bhbanco.org, right?
Absolutely, bhbanco.org, at Free Rev Pinckney on Twitter. We also have a Facebook page, Detroit Organizing for Reverend Pinckney, that has excellent information. I'm on Facebook. My full name, Polly Cook Hughes. I work with a small organization, although it's small, it's international. People for Social and Economic Development. You can always write to me if you would like to email me at. Let me get it right here, because I have several emails. It's P like Polly, 4 the number 4, SED like dog, 1 the numeral 1 at gmail.com. So it's P4SED1 at gmail.com. Feel free to email me or check any of those websites for information.
Yeah, if you're looking for Polly,
thank you again, Ed, so much for giving us this time to talk about these crucial issues, especially Reverend Pinckney and Flint water crisis.
Yeah, and just email me. I'll forward it to Polly. No one's going to remember that email address.
That's probably true, unless you have paper and pencil right now.
Polly, thank you so much again, okay? Anytime you want to come on, just let me know.
Thank you.
Okay.
When the weather outside is frightful, the Hyundai Santa Fe is, delightful. Because it's got available H-Track all-wheel drive to make being out together better. Enter for your chance to win the newly redesigned Santa Fe, packed with all the jingle bells and whistles you need to go dashing through the snow together. To enter, visit Amazon.com/Hyundai or scan the QR code on specially marked red and green Amazon boxes. No purchase necessary. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details. When the weather outside is frightful, the Hyundai Santa Fe is, delightful. Because it's got available H-Track all-wheel drive to make being out together better. Enter for your chance to win the newly redesigned Santa Fe, packed with all the jingle bells and whistles you need to go dashing through the snow together. To enter, visit Amazon.com/Hyundai or scan the QR code on specially marked red and green Amazon boxes. No purchase necessary. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details.